Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, I guess you could say this is a blast from the past. It's been a while since I made one of these videos, but I guess we're going back to the roots considering this channel started in 2020 during the peak of the George Floyd riots and the Antifa terror campaign that ravaged the country from coast to coast. Well, I guess you could say Antifa is back, this time with a campus insurrection. On Monday night, the University of Washington's interdisciplinary engineering building fell under siege to a group of Antifa militants. Yeah, the issue of left-wing extremism and violence, political intimidation, which of course is the definition of terrorism, continues. Just last month, it was the Tesla terror campaign, attacking Tesla dealership and Tesla owners across the country because I guess they didn't like Elon Musk running an audit on the corrupt NGOs that fund them. And now I guess they're done with Tesla and it's back to pro-Palestine terror. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, folks, so masked leftist militants engaged in their typical behaviors. They set up barricades, they also committed arson. And of course, the typical Antifa cherry on top, they assaulted the police officers who responded on scene.
To the police!
You can be subject to arrest. Again, you can peacefully protest. West sidewalk. Do not interfere with these officers.
To the police!
Do not get in their way.
Abolish the police! Get a real job! Every cop is a victory for the resistance! Every IOF soldier killed is a victory against colonialism! Get a real job, dip!
And so the escalation continues. And that seems to be the pattern. I mean, that is the pattern of the left. An escalation of extremism that clearly the mainstream media doesn't want to acknowledge and left-wing politicians clearly want to pretend isn't happening, or that in many cases they attempt to reframe entirely. Let's stop with the BS. Let's stop pretending like this is just about protesting, practicing your right to protest. Let's stop playing along with this bogus media narrative that what we've seen over the last couple of years is some noble movement, First Amendment right and fighting against oppression. What has been happening for years now is the normalization of violence and extremism from the political left. It's a pattern, it's predictable, it's deliberate, and clearly it's getting worse and it's become routine. This is left-wing terrorism. This is a fear campaign, and it will continue to happen as long as these Democrat politicians continue to be the cowards that they are. Black Bloc Antifa militants are assaulting police officers, setting fires, setting up barricades, and occupying buildings. I mean, engaging in insurrection-style behavior, which the left supposedly cares so much about. But I can pretty much guarantee you, no top Democrat politicians will even speak about this. It's the same pattern as usual. Where's the outrage or the video condemning this violence from Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries? It's going to be missing from the internet. I could pretty much predict that with absolute certainty. We are watching the radicalized normalization of the left with these cowardly politicians who just quietly tolerate it, and who frankly not only tolerate it, but they encourage it. They're happy that it's happening because guess what? They're not going to do anything, and so who's going to step in? It's going to be Donald Trump, his administration, his DOJ that's going to come in and start hitting these people with some charges, maybe sending some federal officers to some of these violent riots if they continue. And then, of course, Donald Trump has fallen in their trap, right? Every freaking time, all of a sudden, Donald Trump's the bad guy, cracking down on protests, launching tear gas, arresting people on the streets and putting them into unmarked vans. Remember the Antifa narratives? The left is completely out of control, folks. That is their modus operandi. And just as I keep saying they're the party of the criminal, they're also the party of resorting to violence. It seems almost as if it's instinctual for them. It's in their nature. They don't debate. They don't persuade with ideas. They mob. They scream. They destroy. And if you push back, they label you the fascist. It's absolutely insane. We're being gaslit on a national scale. And it's time to say what everybody knows deep down. The modern American left is increasingly dominated by unstable radical lunatics whose first response to disagreement or policy they don't like is destruction, violence, assault. These people clearly have no interest in coexisting. They want total submission. And if they don't get it, well, they'll burn your building down, flip your car, key your car, firebomb your dealership, and then justify it with some cringe Instagram infographic about decolonization and systemic oppression and the rise of American far-right fascism. The left is becoming dangerous. They are becoming exactly what they claim the right is. And it's time to take the frickin' gloves off, folks. No more appeasement. It's time to start seriously enforcing the law, especially on these university campuses. You know, universities used to be beacons of discussion and debate, and now they've become beacons of political extremism. It's time to set a frickin' standard that this stuff is unacceptable. And that's why I personally absolutely supported the arrest and deportation of Mahmoud Khalil. And frankly, I'm calling for more of it. These individuals, especially these non-American citizens, coming to American universities and leading violent, chaotic, radical intimidation campaigns, it's got to stop. And we have confirmation that Iran is funding some of this stuff.
We've said ourselves, the Director of National Intelligence came out publicly and said that we do know that Iran has been funding and encouraging some of the protest activity here in the United States. Some of it. We do not believe that all the protest activity out there on a daily basis is being fully funded by Iran. There's a lot of organic concern out there in the American people about what's going on in the Middle East, and most of these protests are formed and fashioned in that regard.
It's time to take this stuff seriously. Pam Bondi needs to act decisively and bring the hammer down on this clear terrorism. If you're an American citizen engaged in these radical actions, you should be held accountable. And if you're not an American citizen, on a student visa, a visitor visa, or even on a green card, you should be deported. The leftist violence has got to stop, folks. The longer this continues, the longer we pretend as though this is acceptable, as if this is an acceptable form of protest and discourse, the worse it's going to get. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.